Good evening. I'd like to call to order the September 15, 2025 Wyoming City Council meeting. Tonight we're coming to you from the Godwin Mercado, one of our councils on the road. The invocation tonight is by Rick South of Abundant Life Church. If you wish and are able, please stand for the invocation. The Pledge of Allegiance will immediately follow. Uh-oh.
He's not here. You want me to pray?
Oh, that's some feedback. Yes, if you can pray for us.
Let's pray. Father God, we love you. We thank you for this beautiful night you've given us here in the city of Wyoming. We just thank you we could gather here today as leaders and staff and residents. Father, we pray that you would bless us as we fellowship and we make decisions tonight. We just pray a blessing over all of our employees. We just think tonight of our public safety and pray that you would watch over them, give them safety, and help them govern our city in a fair way.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you could call the roll, please.
Councilmember Arnoyes.
Here.
Breathauer.
Present.
DeKreiger.
Here.
Hill.
Present.
Postma.
Here.
Postler. Mayor.
If I could have a motion to excuse the mayor, please. Motion by Arnoy, support by Hill. Call the roll.
Councilmember Arnoyes.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Breathauer.
Yes.
DeKreiger.
Yes.
Postler.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes. Approval of the minutes from the September 2, 2025 regular meeting and the September 8 work session. You've all had a chance to review those and they will stand as written unless there's an objection. Seeing none, those stand approved. Approval of the agenda. Any additions, John?
No.
Need a motion to approve the motion by DeKreiger, support by Hill. Call the roll.
Councilmember DeKreiger.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Arnoyes.
Yes.
Breathauer.
Yes.
Postler.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes. We have no public hearings. Public comment on agenda items. If you're here for an agenda item and wish to speak to council, now is your opportunity. Please step to the podium. Seeing none, we will move on to presentations and proclamations. There are no presentations. We have two proclamations tonight. The first, I understand there is not anybody here receiving, but I'm going to read it. It's for the Prisoner of War and Missing in Action Recognition Day. Whereas the United States has fought in many wars, one of the longest was the Vietnamese conflict. Whereas Friday, September 19, 2025 is a day of remembrance for those who suffered as prisoners of war or are still missing as a result of any conflict. Whereas although cooperation has increased within the past few years, there are still over 1,700 American servicemen and civilians, including 48 from the state of Michigan, missing and unaccounted for in Southeast Asia. The uncertainty surrounding their fates has caused their families to suffer a great hardship. And whereas increasing public awareness and focusing public attention on this issue is one way to help achieve this goal, and now, therefore, I, Robert Postma, Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Wyoming, do hereby proclaim Friday, September 19, 2025 as Prisoner of War Missing in Action Recognition Day in the City of Wyoming, and urge all of our citizens to take note of this important issue and remember those servicemen and civilians who were prisoners of war and those who are still missing and commemorate the day with appropriate activities. The next proclamation is for Sickle Cell Warrior Day, and I understand Dr. Jordan and Ashley Jones are here to receive that. If you could meet me by the podium, please. Whereas sickle cell disease is a serious inherited blood disorder that affects millions of people worldwide, primarily impacting African Americans, and whereas over 4,000 individuals in Michigan are living with the disease and approximately 1 in every 320 Black infants born in Michigan are affected, whereas Saturday, September 2025, is the inaugural Sickle Cell Walk and Roll and Fun Fair to raise awareness and provide support for individuals and families affected by the disease, whereas this event will increase public awareness and focus public attention on this issue while also celebrating the strength and resilience of sickle cell warriors in the community. Now, therefore, I, Robert Postma, Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Wyoming, do hereby proclaim Saturday, September 2025 as Sickle Cell Warrior Day in the City of Wyoming and urge each individual in our community to take note of this important issue and support education and awareness for sickle cell disease. There are no petitions and communications, reports from city officers. Item B, John. Motion. Yes, I need a motion.
I'll read that and then we'll do a motion.
Very good.
Okay. City Manager Report 25-12 is for the acceptance of an easement and temporary permit for construction for 5575 Byron Center Avenue Southwest.
Now, motion by DeKreiger, support by Postler. John.
So this has to do with the project to add 2 left turn lanes from northbound 56 to westbound, northbound Byron Center to westbound 56. And this is both the permanent easement and temporary construction easement for the Walgreens property on the northwest corner of that intersection.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilmember DeKreiger?
Yes.
Postler?
Yes.
Arnoyes?
Yes.
Brethauer?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes. There are no budget amendments or consent agenda resolutions. Let's take item A.
Resolution A is to approve and authorize the mayor and city clerk to sign a municipal services agreement for Pinery Park Apartment Housing Project.
Motion, please. Motion by DeKreiger, support by Arnoyes. John?
Well, this is what we discussed at the last work session and has to do with approving a payment in lieu of taxes ordinance as well as a municipal services agreement to help finance the $5.5 million renovations to the Pinery Park Apartments. And if you can see in the packet, actually, just the way that this works, the city would actually receive more revenue from entering into this agreement than we do with receiving traditional tax revenue.
Any questions? Seeing none, call the roll.
Councilmember DeKreiger?
Yes.
Arnoyes? Brethauer?
Yes.
Hill?
No.
Postler?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes. Item B, please.
Resolution B is to direct the city manager to sign an interlocal agreement with Kent County Community Action to accept and administer community development block grant funds.
Motion, please. Motion by Brethauer, support by Postler. John?
So We are recommending that Kent County take over the administration of our Community Development Block Grant Funding Program that provides, among other things, funding to renovate homes for persons that meet certain income requirements. And we want to do this for a few reasons. We are at the point where we have to do a new 5-year strategic plan. And if we were to hire that out to have someone do that, that would probably cost us close to $100,000. It involves a lot of staff work. And so there's that heavy lift to it, which normally would not be an issue. But that leads into the second reason, which is we've been seeing our community development block grant awards decline over the last few years. They used to be over $550,000. They're now down to around $480,000. And if we get to under $350,000, the federal government will no longer send us CDBG funds. They'll send them directly to the county. And what we're seeing is a trend towards declining awards. And the Trump administration has indicated for the next budget, they're proposing to eliminate community development block grant funding. So we wouldn't even get an award anyway if that budget were to go through. And then there are new requirements that must be followed when receiving this funding. And a lot of the subrecipients that we enter into contracts to provide these services have indicated that based on these increased requirements that it would be easier for them to receive larger awards from fewer municipalities than a series of smaller awards that they have to comply with these requirements. So we're looking to recommend that the county take this over starting next July. I do want to point out that HUD, the Housing and Urban Development Washington, D.C., has to sign off on this, and we're having a really difficult time contacting them to set up a meeting to get their approval to do this. And so while we're confident that they would approve having Kent County oversee our program, there does exist the possibility that by the time we get approval from HUD, it may not be effective until the program year starting July 1st of 2027. So the risk runs that we could go through a 1-year gap receiving no community development block grant funding. Having said that, we still feel that the best thing to do here based on the strategic planning costs, the fact that we think our award will either be reduced or be eliminated such that we won't receive it. We feel that it's in our community's best interest to have Kent County oversee our CDBG funding program, and the county does this currently with the city of Kentwood as well.
Questions?
Just to clarify, I'm assuming that the amount of money that we send over to them would still go to Wyoming-specific projects?
And I'll double check this, but Paul, I don't think it goes to Kent County, and we're not guaranteed a specific amount that will come to Wyoming. Now, being really the largest community outside of Grand Rapids, I would think that our share would be pretty commensurate with what it is today.
There's nothing we can do to like ensure that, or, I mean, I'm assuming the county isn't gonna like purposely, not do that, but I just would like to make sure that there's a way to at least have some sort of agreement or not.
Is it, Paul, come on up. I don't know if there's a way to guarantee that.
So there is no way to guarantee that. However, the county does have a scoring system for all of their awards, one of which is essentially a way of weighting it for how recently you got a large award, with the idea that it balances out over about a 5-year period. So there's no guarantee, but it should be very close.
It's also accurate. Grand Rapids is not in this pool, right?
That's
It would be
correct.
the largest single community in the pool.
Yeah, Grand
That is
Rapids would
correct.
continue to have their own award.
Rob?
Just, can you give me a little bit of an update on what has Kent County said about doing this? Or are they obviously assuming they're in favor of it, or any details on that conversation?
We've had conversations with Kent County Community Action. They've been supportive of this. They've had conversations with the administrator's office. They're also supportive of this. It will eventually have to go before the board. And just like you, they would prefer to make that decision when they have all of the possible facts.
And maybe on the flip side, Wyoming could actually benefit even greater potentially from the pool of funds.
Some years, yes. Some years, no. It should all level out over time.
Anyone else? Renee?
Yeah, how much is this gonna save us at Wyoming? I mean, from our staff, because we probably had some people full-time for this.
So Nicole and I, about 5% of our salaries come from this. That will come from the building inspections fund in the future. We have one staff member who is dedicated to this. She is one of the folks who made this recommendation. She is also very highly skilled and frequently gets job offers to get hired away from the city of Wyoming.
So we would lose, we have one staff member that's where her salary is paid by these funds. I think she's indicated, and correct me if I'm wrong, that she's looking to retire, but we would lose that position.
Other questions? Marissa?
Also, if I heard correctly, her salary was paid for by that grant funding, so we weren't actually paying for it out of a different bucket to begin with. It's just a net zero then.
Correct. Yeah, and a small portion of Paul's and Nicole's salary were paid out of that. That would have to be absorbed out of our inspections fund. But the other one was 100%.
CDBG also can't pay for equipment. So all of the things that this staff member needed to do their job, like computers, cell phone, things like that, got paid for out of the general fund.
Anyone else? Call the roll.
Councilmember Brethauer,
Yes.
Hostler, Arnoyes,
Yes.
DeKreiger,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes. Item C.
Just if, when the council does speak, if you could speak close to your microphones, just so it's easier for people to hear, is what I've been told.
Resolution C is to update procedures and designate city officials for the fire insurance withholding program under Public Act 495.
Need a motion, please? Motion by Arnoy, support by DeKreiger. John?
So there's a state law that has a program that we've been involved in since the mid-1990s. So if a property suffers fire damage exceeding 49% of the value, the law requires that the insurance company notify the municipality of this, and the municipality has the option to take 25% of that insurance settlement, put it in escrow until any health and safety violations are corrected on that property, whether any proper repairs are done or whether demolition takes place. We've been participating in this program for about 30 years. Our old program specifically listed a person's name that oversaw the program that I think is long since retired. So really all this is doing is continuing to participate in this program, and it specifies that our registered building official will oversee this program and determine, one, if we should withhold funds into escrow, and then if so, when those funds should be released if those violations have been corrected.
Rob?
John, is this, do we actually list a name or is it a position that's
It's
listed?
if you approve this tonight, it would be listing a position.
Okay.
The
Thank you.
old one was a specific person's name.
Good. All right, thank you. That's good.
Quick question, so
Other-
in practice, how often do we actually choose to hold the funds in escrow?
Yeah, well, I don't.
We don't use this very often. Currently, we have 2 that are in escrow for a total of $37,117.
Okay, so it's not like a major, because I'm thinking to myself, wouldn't they presumably need that money to make said repairs? I mean,
They do, and as soon as the repairs are made, we release it as quickly as possible.
we release it after they've somehow paid for them out of pocket?
We do. The intent of the program is that if someone is not making the repairs in a timely manner, that we can demolish the structure so that there isn't a remaining health and safety violation. We don't withhold this very often. We don't withhold it on every single property. We do it when we think that there's a higher risk.
It's not the entire amount either, right?
No,
It's 25%.
A maximum of 25%.
So I can tell you, my in-laws just went through a fire, and the insurance companies act a little bit the same. They release a portion of the funds. You don't get it all until you do it. So, but 75%, 50% of 75% would get you a long ways, and the city would be able to see that things are being done.
I imagine if the person or entity had an issue and needed the money to make the repairs, we would work with them.
We would find some way to work with them, yes, but also we're very interested in making sure that the repairs are done in a timely manner.
Logically, this just seems super backwards to my brain, but I guess I understand kind of.
It's not unusual in construction to pay for performance anyway, so you're paying at the end of the job.
Other questions? Call the roll.
Councilmember Arnoyes,
Yes.
DeKreiger,
Yes.
Brethauer,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Postler,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes. Item 15, award of bids, contracts, purchases, and renewal of bids. Item A, please.
Resolution A is to approve and authorize the city manager and city clerk to sign an amendment to the Colliers Engineering Design contract for the Byron Center Avenue and 56th Street dual left turn project.
Motion by Brethauer, support by Postler. John?
So this is the project I just referenced earlier about the dual left turn lanes that are currently being designed, and we're looking at construction starting next year. We've had some, earlier today, we approved acquiring some easements for this. There are some other properties, specifically more on the west end of this project, where we've had difficulty getting easements. So in order to stay on MDOT's letting schedule, because MDOT is contributing $400,000 towards this project, and I think our share is $150,000. We split this into two phases: the easy to acquire easement phase and more difficult property easements to acquire, and that required the engineer to do quite a bit of work to divide this into two phases. So this is to approve amending the contract with Colliers Engineering to pay them additional engineering fees to split this into two projects to keep this on schedule with MDOT's letting schedule.
Questions? Seeing none, call the roll.
Councilmember Brethauer,
Yes.
Postler,
Yes.
Arnoyes,
Yes.
DeKreiger,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes. Let's take B, C, and D together unless there's an objection.
Resolution B is to accept a quote for the purchase of AEDs. Resolution C is for the purchase of conference room chairs. And Resolution D is to accept a quote for the purchase of gear lockers.
Motion. Motion by Postler, support by Brethauer. John?
So the first one is to purchase 36 automated external defibrillators for the police department. They go in the police vehicles. So that would be 36 of them at just under $2,500 a unit. Item C is the purchase of 13 chairs to replace the existing chairs in the police chief's conference room that are over 20 years old and are pretty worn out. And then item D is to purchase 18 gear lockers at Burton Fire Station and 24 gear lockers at Division for just over $13,000 to store turnout gear and other equipment that the firefighters use.
Questions?
Yeah, the AEDs that we currently have, is it the same company that we're using?
These are from, yeah, so currently the old ones are LifePak 1000 defibrillators, and the new one is a LifePak CR2, so it's the same company. And they're giving us a trade-in for the old AEDs.
Okay, did we bid it out with other competitors for this, or?
So
No.
we have these Sourcewell contracts that we use, but this company actually offered a discount that was even better than those Sourcewell contracts that we use, those statewide contracts. So we went with the lower price that way.
Okay, great, thank you.
Other questions? Call the roll.
Councilmember Postler,
Yes.
Brethauer,
Yes.
Arnoyes,
Yes.
DeKreiger,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes,
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes. Item 16 is ordinances. Ordinance 1125, please.
Ordinance 11-25 is to amend Chapter 2, Article 4, Division 12 of the Code of Ordinances to provide for a service charge in lieu of taxes for the Pinery Park Apartment Housing Project. This ordinance is in final reading.
Motion, please. Motion by DeKreiger, support by Arnoyes. John.
So this is the payment in lieu of taxes ordinance for the Pinery Park Apartments. Council just approved the municipal services agreement. This is for the pilot ordinance.
Questions? Call the roll.
Councilmember DeKreiger,
Yes.
Arnoyes.
Yes.
Brethauer,
Yes.
Hill,
no,
Postler,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes. Ordinance 12-25.
This is a really long title, so let me summarize. This amendment is clerical in nature and seeks to create unity across section titles and clarify use types, specifically in zoning districts B2 and B3.
Motion, please. Motion by Brethauer, support by Postler. John.
Just as the clerk said, from time to time, we go through the zoning ordinance and update any typos, remove clerical errors, replace dead links, that type of thing. And that's really what this ordinance is. It's really a housekeeping in nature.
Questions? Call the roll.
Councilmember Brethauer.
Yes.
Postler,
Yes.
Arnoyes,
Yes.
DeKreiger,
Yes.
Hill,
yes,
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes. 1325, please.
Ordinance 13-25 is to amend Section 34-1 definitions and Section 34-3 of the code to adopt the International Fire Code 2024 edition by reference together and with certain amendments and appendices. This ordinance is in first reading.
Motion, please. Motion by DeKreiger, support by Postler. John.
So currently, the city has adopted the 2018 version of the fire code. This would adopt the 2024 version of the fire code. Really, some of the main changes have to do with, for example, the storage of lithium-ion batteries, as well as certain refrigerants as well. So it's really updating the code based on new technology and new risks that they find.
Questions? Call the roll.
Councilmember DeKreiger.
Yes.
Postler,
Yes.
Arnoyes,
Yes.
Brethauer,
Yes.
Hill,
yes,
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes. Let's take 1425 and 1525 together.
Ordinance 14-25 is to amend Chapter 14 Businesses, Article 4 Alcohol Liquor Businesses, Section 14-42 Requirements for on-premise consumption licenses, to add a new paragraph H to allow Godwin Mercado to serve alcoholic beverages. This ordinance is in first reading. And ordinance 15-25 is to amend Chapter 50 Offenses and Miscellaneous Provisions, Article 2 Offenses Affecting Governmental Functions, Section 50-36 Possession or consumption of alcoholic liquor in public parks and places of amusement, is amended to add a new paragraph 4 to allow Godwin Mercado to serve alcoholic beverages. This ordinance is also in first reading.
Motion, please. Motion by Arnoyes, support by DeKreiger. John.
So just as a follow-up to our work session, both of these ordinances would amend two different ordinances that would allow for the sale and service of alcoholic beverages at this facility right here. This is first reading, and as we discussed at the work session, when this comes back for final reading at the second meeting in October, we'll have a final vote, if you will, by the council on providing alcoholic beverages at this facility.
Questions, Marissa?
And just for clarification, this has no bearing on which path we choose to take.
Correct.
Other questions? Call the roll.
Councilmember Arnoyes,
Yes.
DeKreiger,
Yes.
Brethauer,
Yes.
Hill,
no,
Postler,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes. We have no informational material, acknowledgement of visitors. If there's somebody from the public who would like to speak to council, now is your opportunity. Oh, I'm touching. Please state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
Good evening, council. I'm Matthew Ferris, owner of 2905 Sharon Avenue. I'm here tonight just because I wanted to bring to light a statistic that we heard not long ago given by our police department. 2,500. 2,500 is the amount of car crashes that occur in just our city every year. 7 a day. Since we all see and hear what happens on our main roads, I wanted to shed some light on what happens on residential streets too. One day when a loved one of mine attempted to turn left into my driveway, someone was going so fast down my street that they T-boned her in the driver's door. That's just one example. The next one, this was quite recent. I was outside enjoying my evening when I heard a crash. So I walked to the end of my driveway and I saw that 2 cars tried to pass each other on my road. They were both traveling so fast and they were both so sure that they had the right of way, they took each other's mirrors off. That's on a 25-mile-an-hour road, quite narrow. Or the animal effect. I dispose of many, many animals a year. Many animals committed the crime of trying to cross the road. I guess I should tell my neighbors to throw away their bird feeders so that the cars can go faster. I'm not sure. I say all of this in love. I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak to council? Acknowledgement of visitors, time is closed. We have no closed session. For the good of the order, I'll go around, starting with you, Rob.
Just want to congratulate Patrick on the new opportunity, but more importantly, thank you for your service here at Wyoming, and we wish you the best. And we're very blessed to have you serve us for the past couple of years, and thank you for all that you've done, and hopefully much success in the future.
Sean?
Yeah, I would reiterate that. Congratulations, Patrick, and I'm sure we have a good partner coming up in Ottawa counties. Congratulations to you. And then just want to comment on this beautiful building. I know we have a pretty serious investment here as a community, but I know a lot of good things will happen here. It'll be great for our community, and just looking forward to the possibilities and the things that will happen here.
Yeah, congratulations, Patrick. It's been great working with you and getting to know you, and I know you're going to be blessed in your new position, and I'm going to miss you. So thank you for everything.
Marissa?
I don't know if there's much I can add besides echoing all of that.
I do. I have one more meeting, so you I'll say goodbye next meeting then.
Yeah, congratulations, Patrick. That's great. Ottawa County's gain is our loss, but it's been great working with you, and I know we have a little time left, so I'm sure I'll have more to say later. Upcoming events: pedestrian bridge grand opening, run, walk, or roll event. Join us Saturday, September 27 for a ribbon cutting ceremony at 9 a.m., followed by a run, walk, or roll event at 10 a.m., celebrating the pedestrian bridge's grand opening and Wyoming's new trail connections to Pinery Park and Grace University. Come and enjoy food trucks, music, and sponsored gifts along the trail. Also, the Trick or Treat Trail, our Parks and Recreation Department's annual Trick or Treat Trail, is returning next month. Join us for an evening of Halloween fun Saturday, October 4, from 4 to 6 p.m. at Lamar Park. Local businesses and organizations will be passing out candies and goodies. That's all for the announcements for the city. I did think about preparing something that I wanted to say just about this week's events, and I just want to stress how good it is to work in Wyoming, where we can all have our disagreements and we all come to a settlement on that. And I'm so happy with the way discourse operates in Wyoming, that we can treat each other civilly no matter what we believe. So just wanted to put that out there. And with that, the meeting is adjourned.